Hi, Bill here from WMD Photography. Today I'm going to demonstrate how I edit my photos using frequency separation, some creative color grading, and then finally prepping for publication. My goal is not to teach you the specifics on how to do frequency separation, but instead to show you the process of editing a photo using these techniques. The image we're going to use today is a photo I took over the summer of our lovely bikini model, Sylvia. As you can see, she's got great skin and a great complexion. Very pretty lady. Our goal will be to just go and clean up a few minor blemishes and even out some skin tones to make it perfect. All right, let's get started. At this point, I have created the layers necessary for separating the texture from the color, and I've also created a check layer in black and white that'll help me to see the skin defects a little more clearly. And I'm just adjusting the colors in order to best see the blemishes that need attention. So at this point, you can see that I'm going through and I'm picking off little blemishes here and there using the clone stamp tool. Note that the clone stamp tool is set to the current layer. So I'm just copying texture from one place to another to cover up blemishes. Now this can be a very long and tedious process. And I guess that's what makes this a more of an advanced type of editing technique. It's not just a filter or an action in Photoshop. You have to actually go in and find all of the little details and blemishes that need to be fixed. And the more time you spend doing this, the better the final product will be. You can see here that I'm not affecting the colors very much. There is a slight shift in when I get close to the edges of things, but as long as I stay away from the edges, the color shift is pretty unnoticeable. Now I'll zoom in and zoom out as I go along, but it's very easy to overdo this. If you zoom in to more than 100% on the photograph, you can easily spend hours touching up little details that don't really need to be touched, because at your whatever size you're going to publish this at, no one is ever going to see the stuff. So my advice is just take care of major issues and try and work at 100% zoom. Now here I'm going to try to adjust the bright spot on her forehead by blending the colors together. I've switched to the blur layer, or the low pass layer, and I'm just going in using a Gaussian blur to kind of even out skin tones a little bit. Again, it's really easy to overdo this, so you want to just take small steps. And I'm switching back and forth between the clone stamp and the Gaussian blur. You can take care of most of the blemishes and color distortions. I've sped the video up here so we don't spend hours watching me edit the photo. To be honest though, the time it took for me to do this edit was only about 18 minutes. Now at this point, I've done all of the editing that I'm going to do on this, and I'm saving a copy that I can show you in the video. All right, now we're going to switch to color grading, and it's important that you realize that these are separate activities. Frequency separation is used to take care of skin blemishes and to even out skin tones. It's not meant for doing artistic or creative work on your photos. If you want to draw a mustache on somebody, you don't do that in the frequency separation layers, right? You do your creative work outside of it. So here in this case, I've created a set of dodge and burn layers, and I'm just going through and darkening up her eyelashes and eyebrows, and I think I ran a bit of burn across her cheek as well, just to emphasize the strong cheekbones that she's got. Here I'm attempting to knock down some of that glare on her nose, but I decided that the burn tool just wasn't working well enough, so I hit the undo key. I'm putting a little bit more of a shadow under her lower lip, and I'm going to check to see the effect. So you can see it, and I'm going to back that off just a little bit. There we go. I think I like that better. Now, I think we're going to apply a bit of a hue adjustment here. Try and play with the colors a little bit, make them a little bit more vivid. I tried to use the colorize, but it just was ridiculous. So I went back and just made slight adjustments to the hue and saturation. This part really is the artistic part of photography. Here you're making creative decisions. You're going to make the sky warmer, you're going to make her skin tones more red, more yellow. It really is a matter of taste. There is no right or wrong. It's easy to make a photo look pretty ridiculous, but experience will teach you that using a subtle touch on this stuff is the way to go. All right, here I've added a gradient map and a levels adjustment layer to give it a bit of contrast and pop. It's a bit of an odd method that I use here. It's the gradient map makes everything a little bit darker, and then I use the levels adjustment to brighten it back up again. All right, I think we are done all of the grading, color grading that I want to do on this. And at this point, I think we're ready to save it and go on to the final step, which is to get it ready for publication. So again, I'm going to save an instance that we can refer to later in the video. And now we're ready to do the publication, which basically is just to size it, crop it. You know, if you're going to put a logo on your picture, this is when you might do it. Now, in my case, I didn't like that fisherman standing out in the water in the background of the picture. Plus, our model is looking to the left side. So having all that negative space on the right, even though there's a lovely sunset there, just wasn't making sense to me. So I decided, oh, and there was a label sticking out of her bikini top, so I decided to crop this one fairly tight and make a nice headshot out of it. All right, As I said, if you were going to do a logo or something, this would be a good time to do it. And I'm just going to save the final version. All right, we'll zoom in and have a look at the final product, and this is it. Certainly much better than what we started out with.